Got a suggestion from Wireless Mike. Much appreciated, my friend. We are looking at contrasting the last Trump supporter, which we showed on the stream here, um, with someone from a TYT video today. Now, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess, just based off momentary pessimism, that it's very different, a very different tune. But I hope not. I hope this is somebody who is looking for a way out. That's what I'm going to be listening for. But probably not. Let's find out. This is from TYT.
There's audio tape of him with classified documents, sharing them with people who didn't have that security clearance. Does any of that bother you?
No, I think they've been after him so long that all of this is just a witch hunt like he described it. I don't think there's anything Trump's done wrong.
Okay. Let me start with what he just did right there is so important to understand. He jumped straight to a talking point, to a phrase he's had drilled into his head over and over. Witch hunt. I know what witch hunt means. I can expand upon that by just rephrasing it in longer sentences and make it seem like I think about it a lot. But he didn't think about it a lot. So provide the same thing. What's a similar phrase? You could say he bailed out his buddies. What did he do in office when he finally had the opportunity to help you? He just bailed out his buddies. In COVID, the rich got richer when Trump was in charge. He just bailed out his buddies. Kushner got a cushy deal from Saudi Arabia. Trump was just bailing out his buddies. This is a guy who's enjoying the sport of it. This is a guy who enjoys going to these places, knowing that all he has to do to piss off a whole lot of people that he doesn't like is put on his neo-Confederate hat there and recite talking points, which he's memorized because a racist in a suit screamed it at him over and over on Fox. But look at the kind of talking points that he uses and figure out for yourself how you can invert those for when people are ready to leave. Because I promise you, this guy has family that does not talk to him anymore about this. I mean, over this. He has lost family.
I think that the desperate opposition is just after him. I mean, they started out, and they've been after him 8 different ways, and they're going to keep after him until they can get him in jail, I think.
They went after Richard Nixon, they went after Bill Clinton, and now the courts in several different states are finding different things about Trump. Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
I really want to hear this.
Explain that to me. That's amazing. I mean,
look,
what did he do for you? That is the question I want to know.
The only man we've ever had in my lifetime that stood for America as president. Now,
in what way did he stand for America?
I was a George Herbert Walker Bush man and all that, but they don't anybody compare to Donald Trump. He loves this country, and that's why I love him.
What has made you believe that he loves this country? He paid more taxes to China than he did to the United States. What makes you think he loves this country? That's another, by the way, true thing you can rattle off to when people are ready to abandon this punk. Offer them that. Remember, Trump paid more taxes to China than to the U.S., so he loves China more.
I'm going to push back a little bit because, and you're, I'm guessing, a couple of months older than me, but I'm going to say that, looking back at some presidents like Eisenhower, like LBJ, like Gerald Ford, like, Reagan, Bush, who you mentioned. What about them didn't stand for America in the same way that Trump does?
I think it's got to do with the times we're living in. America's being assaulted. Open borders, all the issues. We all know the issues. And nobody stood under the attack.
Now, right there, listen to that rhetorical point. Open borders. You all know the issues. We all know the issues. Okay, so all you've got when you want to say America was assaulted, that you're comfortable saying, let's say, Mr. MAGA hat, was open borders. If you were to ask him specifically what that means, he would give you a nonsensical answer. Again, it's just a talking point. It's not all fighting fire with fire. A lot of times that's nonsensical, but there is such a thing as a fire line. It is sometimes done. It is sometimes the best option. To that end, definitely get those talking points ready. And also, provide the awkward social pressure necessary to make guys like this squirm when they say things like this. So, if your crazy Uncle Dan or whatever is saying this kind of stuff, just ask those follow-up questions. Ask for specifics and say, I really don't know. I did not get the sense our country was being assaulted. At least after 9/11, I didn't. Explain to me, what do you mean by open borders? Because the numbers that I have seen simply don't match up with that. What do you mean? Oh, people are pouring in over the borders. I mean, the policy didn't change from Trump to Biden. And the only time the policy really changed under Trump, I mean, you don't even have to go that deep. You don't even have to go that deep. I'm going unnecessarily deep with it. Make it easier. Make it easier than that. Open borders. People are pouring in. In my daily life, I don't see a lot of illegal immigrants. At least, I mean, I've seen plenty of brown-skinned people, but I haven't seen people that I know to be illegal immigrants. The crime stats certainly don't reflect that we have illegal immigrants over here committing crimes. So unless they're doing something I don't know about, it's not an issue. So enlighten me. And they just won't be able to. That's how you make them want to change. Is you just make it tiring to hold the position that they have.
That Trump stood under.
Tiring and embarrassing, because they'll only be able to be revealed for lying about these things so often before they're too beat red to continue.
And look what he's done. He's hanging in there. He's for us. He loves this country. And I'm going to support him to the end. I hope he wins. We need him.
Last question for you, because then you got to go in. What would he have done differently than President Biden that would have made you think that he would have been a better president?
President Biden, Biden to me, if he had not been a career politician, he might have been better. But he's lived in Washington all his life. I think we need term limits. I think we need to stop all these old.
Once again, the talking points, and a revealing one this time. He could not pinpoint what he doesn't like about Biden. He could not. Because all of their talking points relied on identity. For all of their whining about identity politics, who was the one actually doing it? Y'all. Y'all were doing it. Obama was a crazy socialist. Hillary, a radical feminist. That Hillary Clinton. Obama was a Muslim. Barack Hussein Obama jihad guy. If they actually looked at these people as people, there would be some real devastating criticisms they could level against them. But hilarious that their kryptonite is just a guy that they can't pigeonhole. Amazing. Also, worthy of note, Biden has been the most milquetoast guy. Really run of the mill to the point where the people that actually pay attention to this stuff are made furious by it so much of the time. But such an interesting closing point there, and sometimes that really is where you get the best stuff, man. This guy, he just he has nothing, and he jumps back to a totally different talking point, or rather, I guess a talking point which to me, there's just no pep to it, which is a career politician. I'm not gonna look at Mitch McConnell, but a career politician. Oh, that's bad.
People from running Washington D.C. is corrupt.
For the record, I am all for, irony of ironies, the term limits that he's talking about. At least I don't have a strong objection to him. Oh, so wrong that he accidentally becomes right. I love it.
Well, the old people, I mean, Trump isn't, there's not a huge difference in age.
Yeah, I should rephrase that. The old people that's been in Washington all their life. That's what America's tired of.
What is it?
True, though. True. Brother, welcome to the light side. Let me take that nasty red lightsaber, hand you the blue one. Welcome to the light side, my friend. That is what America's tired of. Oh, it surely is. Let's install some term limits, and let's do it for the Supreme Court too. Hell, we can get rid of that thing. I'm up for that altogether. But hey, while we're at it, while we're working towards that, let's toss in some term limits for that. Let's toss in term limits for just about everyone. Do it like the Navy, an up or out policy. I am just fine with a lot of what this guy is saying. And it's hilarious to me that he's accidentally winding up with agreement with a pretty far left dude in an attempt to pretend like Trump was anything but an absolute criminal villain.
That you like about Donald Trump?
Well, he's got two good boys that are hunters, and he stands for American values is what I love about him.
Christ.
I just think he's one of us. I know he's very rich, but he has our values, and has
Bull.
our back.
Describe that for me. What are your values that Donald Trump shares with you then?
Parents in control of their children, being able to make choices for your family.
What?
Instead of having somebody tell you what to do,
Making sure
But
they
I
don't
really
have
wanna see
choices for
Donald
themselves.
Trump win. I think Donald Trump has the heart of the country in mind, and I think that he's the man for the job right now.
Oh, amazing. That conversation, I promise you, was exhausting for that guy to have. And if you can recreate that conversation on a one-to-one basis with people in your community, I think you're going to be delighted by the results you get. Wonderful suggestion, wireless mic. Yeah, that's the person we got to wear down to turn into the person from the earlier segment. The person who has taken some time to memorize talking points about why they no longer like Trump. And by the way, that will give them a strange new energy. Because they have been doing politics, believe it or not, in hard mode. It's easy doing leftist politics. It's real easy. You just look at data, which pretty clearly points to smart policy, and you say, we'll take the smart policy, please. This guy's going to get talking points that he's going to memorize. You'll provide to whoever this person, man or woman, ends up being in your life. And when they get, they get tired of being gently corrected in an incredibly embarrassing way. They get tired of that. They're going to start rattling off some of these talking points, and they're going to find people, try to fact check them. They're going to go, oh, here we go. I'm going to get proven to be an idiot again. And then the fact check's going to come back, and they're going to be right. And, oh, that's going to feel good. And then they're going to chase that feeling. And you're going to have a lot of people who are suddenly very excited to talk about why they no longer like Trump. Great suggestion, Wireless Mike.